Hi, everybody. Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh, I'm ready. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's so nice to see you. How are you guys today? Are you ready to craft with me? I'm ready to craft with you. Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Oh my goodness. There's nothing I love more than a good craft. Are you ready to craft with me today? Oh, I'm so excited. We're making one of my favorite things today. So welcome in. This is our free wand making class. If you're like, am I in the right place? Where am I? If you're here to make a wand, you are in the right place. This is a free class, kid friendly. So if you have littles around who are done with school, my littles have tutoring, so my littles will not be with us today, but if your littles are available, they're totally welcome to join. And I want to say thank you for coming in and crafting with me today. I know, it's a wonderful life. So magic wands are super important tools to me, and I'm going to talk to you for the first part of our time together today a little bit about how energy works and why we work with things called wands. And some of you, how many of you are Crystal Master students? If you're Crystal Master students, which is my online class in crystal healing, then you already know about wands and what they are and how they work. But some of you might be new. Is anybody brand new to me, to classes? Never joined anything like this before? I'd love to welcome you too. Because, and the reason I'm doing this for free is I think energy work is really important. And I will tell you something, my daughter who's 11 is even better than I am at making wands, really. I mean, she's so gifted and so good at it. So there's never too young an age to start, except if you're going to be working, and welcome to all of you who are new, by the way. And again, thank you for joining in. I'm so happy you're here. This hopefully is a little fun, bright spot in your week in the middle of what I know is a really stressful time for everybody. And if you're one of our younger friends, I want to welcome you in and tell you Auntie Athena is so happy that you're here. I will consider you my god nieces and god nephews, and I'm so glad that you're here. I love teaching you new things. This is so super fun. So the only thing I would tell you about having littles, and you know, how you work with glue guns and things like that in your house is up to you. But I really didn't start having Zoe working with a glue gun independently until last year. It was a little too much too soon for her at 6, 7, 8 years old. I helped her supervise. Now she's good on her own. So now she knows how to plug in the glue gun. She's good about unplugging it when she's done, and she also understands how to be safe with a glue gun. So that's the only thing I will tell you. If you're having a little one participate, it's a good opportunity to teach them about safe use of glue guns, because glue guns do get really hot. That's the one thing, right? So it's important to learn how to use a glue gun safely. Aw, thanks you guys. I love it. And then what I want to tell you too is, and I mean, you probably already know this, people sell their wands on Etsy, on eBay. So if you really get into this and you really enjoy it, what a fun little, you know, side business for you, right? You could come up with your own designs and your own ideas. You guys are so creative, and you could put them on Etsy. How fun is that, right? So this could actually go from being something that you think of as a hobby to something that, you know, you actually create a little business with. So they do have warm glue guns. I don't have those. Mine is the old, I mean, look how crusty my glue gun is. I'm gonna apologize in advance, but you know, for me, if it's not broken, I don't fix it. You know, so I've thought about getting a nicer, fancier one. Mine is old and not very nice, but it still works, so I'm gonna keep it. My cute shirt, I don't know, my cute shirt was a gift, but I know it came from Etsy. Almost all my clothes come from Etsy. truthfully, because I love supporting other people's small businesses. It's a real passion of mine. I got my start on Etsy, and you know, I just think it's a really nice thing to support other artists too. So let me show you the tools I'm going to be using. Then I'll teach you about wands, which will give you a few minutes to go and gather some tools if you want. I don't have any jewelry on today, and that's because this can get a little messy. You know what I mean? I'm one of those people, I don't really care how my nails look. They get kind of dinged up and banged up, and it's okay. Crafting is fun, and we don't want to worry too much about, you know, how our hands look. But if you've got jewelry that you really care about and you don't want to get a bunch of glue in it, maybe take off your jewelry, set it aside for crafting time. Yeah, you're wearing purple too. I love it. There are the most amazing human beings on Etsy, and because so many people supported me when I first started, I just think it's good to put that energy back in. I bought almost all my Christmas gifts from my friends from small businesses on Etsy, so I just think it's a good thing to do, you know? So I'm going to switch my camera, and I'm going to show you what I'm using for today so that you can see. I'm still here. Okay. So the stones for today, I had 2 kits for you in the shop, if you remember. One was a third eye kit and one was a chakra kit. So some of you have both kits and some of you just have one or the other. So I'm going to show you all the different stones that came and explain what the metaphysical properties are. And then I'm going to come back to the main camera for this actually. And then I want to inspire you, encourage you to go and gather up whatever feels right for you. What brand do I use on my hair? I almost took a picture of it the other day. I'm pretty sure she uses Joico on my hair. And she blends pink, red, purple, and blue. So it's 4 tubes of color that go in my hair. I think it's Joico. I will ask her and take a picture next time and tell you. And thank you for asking. It's a whole bunch of colors. It's a rainbow of colors. So welcome in, everybody. Love that you're here. I'm so happy that you're here. Happy Thursday. Okay, so where we're going with this, what you're ultimately making, looks something like this, okay? It looks something like this, depending on the crystals that you have and that you're using. The original wand that inspired today, that everybody said, please, please, please teach us how to make it. This is a wand that I made when we were still up in San Francisco, which we've been in LA since, I'm from LA, but we lived in San Francisco for 3 years, back from 2011 to 2014, I think is when we moved back to LA. So we've been in LA all that time, but when I was in San Francisco, I was homesick. I loved San Francisco, but I didn't like being away from my family. So one night, we had been hiking with the kids in the Northern California redwood forest, which was my favorite part of living in the Bay Area. And I had found this ranch when we were hiking with the kids. They were just babies at that point. And so one night I was homesick and I gathered up some crystals. I got an celestial quartz point and an aquamarine crystal, because you can terminate your wands with whatever you like, but at least one side should have a quartz point. Okay, at least one. You can put quartz points on both sides. And a bananas in San Francisco. How's your weather today, by the way? It's getting chilly up there in NorCal, isn't it? This time of year it gets so chilly. We lived right on the bay, like right on the bay. It was so cold, but beautiful. Yeah, I love the Bay Area so much. So if you're in NorCal, you just missed us. We were in San Mateo, Foster City for quite a few years there. Anyway, I set an intention to go back home when I was making this wand. One of my knots came undone. Let me redo it real quick. And so that's what this wand is. This was my wand that I made to promise myself that I would get back home eventually. And we did. And so I took crystals aligned to my intentions. And so that's what I do first. I put the crystals on either end. And again, you want to have at least one quartz point. The other crystal can be whatever you want. Aquamarine, if you have a power crystal that you really love. A lot of people like to double terminate their wands, meaning that you put quartz on both sides, which is nice to do too. And I'm going to explain all of this to you in just a second, but I want you to go and get your supplies. And then I set intentions for my return home. And I chose one crystal for each intention. And then I glued each crystal, leaving about an inch of space in between each one. And the reason you leave space is you want to tie your ribbons in between when you're done. And that's when you're going to say your prayers, okay? Before I tie my ribbons on, I like to take an oil blend that means something to me and anoint my ribbons. And selenite is great for a termination. Black kyanite is great for a termination, right? So quartz belongs on one side. This is celestial quartz. You can use rose quartz, you can use smoky quartz, you can use amethyst, which is also a quartz. You can use green aventurine. Any kind of quartz-based mineral will work really well. And then you can either put another quartz point on the other end or a different crystal if you prefer. So it's totally up to you. Then you want to have about, well, this guy just came off too. I got to glue him back on. It's a good opportunity to do that. This wand obviously needed a little bit of TLC, but I use this wand a lot, so that's why sometimes the crystals will fall off and you just glue them back on. It's really easy to do that. So no harm, no foul. Okay, well, two of them came off, so I get to do a lot of repair work on this wand today. That's okay. So what you want to do is gather up, and again, I would say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 crystals if you're doing a big long wand like this. If your wand is a little bit shorter, you know what I mean? I think somewhere in the 5 to 7 number of stones for the top is really good. And then you want to have the same number of ribbons. So in between each stone, you're going to tie on a ribbon and we're going to say a prayer. So what you need for today's craft, if you're doing it right alongside me, and you're welcome to just watch and craft later if you want. Some people do that so that they can kind of get the hang of it, and then they go later that evening or they do it the next day or whatever. And you can totally wire wrap your crystals on, Shauna, if you don't want to glue them. The reason I don't do that is I think it looks cleaner to glue them. But some people don't want to work with glue, and I totally get that too. So however you want to do it, if you want to wire them on, if you want to glue them on, there's no right or wrong way to do this. So I'm going to teach you my technique, and then I want you to just get excited, create your own process, and have fun with this. That's the most important part. Let's see, what is the deity on the picture on the wall? That is, oh, over here, Shiva and Shakti, who are the divine masculine and divine feminine forces of creation in the Hindu pantheon. Yeah, that's my Shiva altar over there. Can you use a wooden spoon? That's fun. Why not? I'll tell you something. If you haven't worked with me very often yet, I don't like rules. I'm a little bit of a renegade. So you know what? Grab a spoon and let me see what your spoon looks like. Wouldn't that be fun to make a spoon that you would use, because I cook all the time. A lot of you do too, I'm sure. Wouldn't it be fun to craft a spoon that you use in your cooking to add your intentions into your meals that you prepare? Like, how smart is that? I actually think that's a really cool idea. I've never thought about it before, but I love the idea that you would do that. So I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. You can also go nuts, okay, and make a walking stick, right? I have one of those hanging in my office that my team, my San Francisco team, when I came back to LA, as a parting gift, they made me a walking stick, and they did kind of the same process, but on a massive, like 7-foot walking stick. So you can go from little tiny ones to big, huge ones, whatever you want to do. You can paint your stick before we decorate it if you're super crafty like that. That's not my thing, but if you want to do that, you can totally do that too. Feathers are fun, right? So anyway, my point is, if you feel inspired, follow your inspiration, because I'll tell you something, that's how you're going to come up with something completely unique. And then when you put it on Etsy, or maybe if you decide to sell them or you gift it to a friend, they're going to be so inspired because it's going to be not like anything anybody's ever seen before. And I love the fact that you're creative. So thank you for your inspiration. And that's part of the reason why I love the comments, because you guys come up with stuff. I mean, I would never have thought of that. But at the same time, I can tell you, I think it's really smart. And I think people would actually love that and buy that. Drummer sticks, are you kidding? Please make drummer sticks. I don't have time to do that, but oh my God, can you imagine the musicians? I have so many musician friends and drummer friends who would love to have like decked out crystal drumsticks. Can you imagine? Custom made by you? You guys inspire me every day. I'm really thankful for you, truly. What beauty you bring to the world and how smart you are, right? Driftwood's great. There's no right or wrong wood. The branch that I'm using for my wand today was gifted to me. This is not driftwood, manzanita. And so when we lived in San Francisco, my favorite place to go on holiday was Lake Tahoe. And there's a lot, we used to go hiking in the north Lake Tahoe area, which is my favorite part. I love south too, but I'm partial to the north. And there are huge manzanita trees in the north of Lake Tahoe, and a lot of them had fallen branches. So while the kids were skiing and sledding and stuff, I would go around and gather up branches. So a friend of mine who knows I love manzanita sent this to me. So I'm just going to show you quickly. Sticks did not come with your kits. It's a BYO stick kind of thing. But you know what? Go for a hike. I mean, there are sticks laying outside on the ground 2 houses down from my house. So, you know, after a storm or if you find a branch, that's a great thing to use. So this one's a big one, but that's what I'm making today. And one of the things I want to encourage you to do, if you like it, is attach your terminations with a glue stick or a glue gun. Because when you do that, the glue drips down. Do you see that? And you know what? I like it. Now you might think, ooh, I'd want to clean that up. Maybe it looks kind of messy, but I kind of like the drippy drips. And then what I do is I take eyeshadow. I take eyeshadow and an eyeshadow brush, totally serious. And if you paint the glue, this is all gold eyeshadow. Isn't that fun? And you can put a layer of lacquer over it if you want, but the dried glue holds the eyeshadow really well. So I want to inspire you. This is just a glue stick and eyeshadow that you already have in your makeup drawer. Is that fun or what? And isn't it pretty? It takes it to a whole nother level. So, and I did this, I glued all these on in 5 minutes. Drip, 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 drip. I mean, it's just hit or miss. Yeah, so I use mica-based eyeshadow. So that's, yeah, it's mica shadow, but it's mica shadow that you can get on Amazon or from your favorite, you know, makeup company. It's just stuff I have left over in my drawer. So this costs very little to make. The branch was gifted. The hot glue, it cost this, all of this to make was just crystals I had, this eyeshadow I had, and it cost me 1 glue stick. Isn't this cool? So this is also one of the most affordable crafts you can do. You probably have everything you need sitting around your house right now. So I really hope today you feel inspired. And there sure are, Bren Kelly, there are sparkle glue sticks. You can get them on Amazon. Have you seen these? I mean, you can start losing your damn mind, but they have rainbow sparkle glue stick kits for like $8, $9, $10 on Amazon. So anyway, you can just go crazy to your heart's desire. I just kept it simple. This is just a regular white glue stick, and then I painted it with gold eyeshadow. Will that stand on its own with triple termination? Yeah, you want to see how it stands? So this is the other thing I want to teach you. This is important. So there are some kind of like technical things about this. And I'm telling you this because I don't want you to make the same mistakes I made. You know how when you start making things, you make mistakes and you're like, I wish somebody had told me that? You'll see what I'm saying in just a minute. before you attach your crystals, you need to lay your branch down and figure out how it naturally sits, okay? Because you don't want to put your crystals on and have the wand constantly flipping like that, okay? So when you first choose a branch, set it down on a flat surface and figure out where its top and bottom are. This one naturally wants to sit just like this. And so that's how I decided where to put the sphere and the other terminations, because I wanted the sphere to be pointing up. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions about that? So this one is always going to lay nicely just like that, but I had to test it before I did it. Oh, you know what? Listen, Michelle Nasello. She said, I suck at crafting, so I love to watch you. I am good at certain things. I am not good at other things, right? I am not the most gifted artist you will ever meet. I am truly not. I get great inspiration and I try my best, but I am not the best artist on the planet. So if I can do this, you can do this, right? But if you have a funky branch like this one, just do yourself the favor, because I've learned the hard way. Figure out how it wants to sit before you glue your crystals on. So like I said, this one was a gift. Now, if you look on Etsy, there are people who sell manzanita branches. If you search on Etsy, freeform branches, cut branches, manzanita branches, there are people who sell, that's their business, small businesses. They go through the forests or their backyard and they sell their branches on Etsy, which is kind of nice too, to support small businesses that way too. I don't sell stones in bulk. I sold kits for this crafting, but they're all gone. So if you want bulk stones, there are people on Etsy who sell like quartz by the pound or other crystals by the pound that you can find too, if you want that. Yeah, so make sure you check your branch. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, because there's nothing worse than getting your whole wand decorated and realizing, because this happened to me, realizing it won't sit up straight. And now it's all finished, you love it, and it's not going to do the thing you want it to do, right? Yeah, it's exactly right. Equus1B said, let the materials tell you how to work with them. You said it so much more eloquently than I did, but it's exactly right. This branch knew exactly how it wanted to be done, and so I just set it down and I let it teach me what it wanted. Now, I'm going to smudge a little bit, because I always do that before crafting, especially if you're working with natural materials. Clearing the energy and then thanking the materials is very important. It's part of what makes this not just like a regular craft, but a sacred craft, right? So whether it's white sage or palo santo or any other herbs or woods or resins that you like to work with, just across the whole surface, clearing off your ribbons, your stones, the branch itself. I had already cleared this one before I started attaching crystals to it, but it's can't over clear things. And then just quietly to yourself, it's nice to give thanks to the trees that offered up these pieces for us to work with. So it's nice to call your energy into present time, roll your shoulders back, take a nice deep breath, and just say thank you. Thank you to this beautiful manzanita tree. Thank you to, this is a little, this branch came from an alder tree. And just thank you to these mother trees that gave of themselves for these tools. Thank you to these crystals for agreeing to work with us today. Thank you to these, a lot of the ribbons I work with are sari ribbons, which are actually shreds of women's clothing that get upcycled. So even that has a life of its own. Silk is a living fiber. So we want to say thank you to the silk plants, right? all those things. So yeah, and you can cleanse with incense cones. You can also cleanse with your breath, right? Doesn't take much. You know, even if you have nothing to burn, just using your breath and saying a prayer is still really important. Can you use Palo Santo as the wood for your wand? Oh yeah. You can use selenite as the body of your wand if you want. If you have like a nice long selenite stick, that would be really nice too. So again, there's no rules here. It's just your creativity. I've always used wood because I feel like wood, there's a strength in wood. And because I don't have very much earth in my chart, I really like the way that I feel wood is very grounding, you know? And if you live in a place where you can't be outdoors all year long, it's a way of bringing the outdoors in the form of your tools, which I love too. Yeah, so anyway, you can totally be creative. Like I said, there's no right, wrong. You're not gonna screw this up. You really won't. And what's really cool too is if you end up using too much glue and it looks kind of funky, if you use a glue gun, you can pick the glue off, and you can also use stones to cover up the glue lines, or you can paint the glue with mica, like I said, so there's no mistakes here. Copper is beautiful. Yeah, so it's totally up to you. I love that Lisa said her stick came from a tree that's 3,500 years old. Isn't that cool? 3,000 years old. Can you imagine? You know, our trees hold so much wisdom. One of the things I think about, especially when we used to hike when the kids were little in the redwood forest, because there's just this sense of like, those trees were here a long time before we got here, and you just know they'll be here so long after we're gone. And so there's something really comforting about that. It's almost like walking with your ancestors, you know? And the tree spirits have stories to tell. So you can also, as you're crafting, ask your branch to tell you its stories. Where did it come from? What wisdom does it have to share? I love all of that too. Okay, the one thing you will want to have, if you want to do this the way I do it, is also some oil, some essential oil or a perfume that you love. Today I'm going to be working with a perfume called Gold, which is an alchemical perfume for transformation. So I'm going to take just a few drops of gold in my palm of my hand. Literally just a little tiny bit. You don't need too much. Here's my scissors. This is the gold perfume that's coming with your Soul Shift kit for your diffuser, but I'm just putting a little tiny bit in the palm of my hand. And it's nice because aromatherapy is so powerful, and you can use just pure straight up essential oil. Lavender is nice for this. Depends on what the purpose of your wand is. If you're going to be using your wand for relaxation or to, you know, I used mine for intention setting. And then I like to take all the ribbons that I might use, because ribbons hold scent really nicely, and just run them through your hands. And just take a minute to do that. You can kind of organize them too by color a little bit as you pull them through. And this is when you start to just become more mindful now, right? Again, this is what separates this from just being a quick craft into something that's very intention-based. And then if you gift this to someone, their wand will always smell like the oils that you worked with when you made it, right? Oh, trees are totally alchemists. Right? Trees are wizards. They're magicians. If you listen closely, they'll speak to you. Yeah, it's really true. Where I live here in Los Angeles is where I grew up. I grew up just 2 streets over from where I live now. And the big trees that line the parks and the walkways here, we're all here when I moved here at 6 years old. You know, so sometimes when we drive by them or when we're out there with the kids, I look at those trees and think, my 6-year-old self used to climb that tree, you know, and it seems so huge to me at the time. And trees are magic. So take a minute just to infuse every one of your ribbons with your essential oil or the perfume that you're choosing. And there's no right or wrong answers here. It's just whatever your intuition guides you to work with. And one of the things, if you're going to get into this, I really recommend starting to collect ribbons. I collect vintage ribbons from different parts of the world. I go on eBay and I buy, I bid on auctions for vintage ribbons. And I've gotten some really cool stuff, and it's not expensive. And I just have a little ribbon drawer, you know, of little bits and pieces like that. And they just come in so handy when you start making crafts. And then if you have a young one with you who's going to get into this, what a fun birthday gift or holiday gift to get them a big box of ribbons for their crafting, right? So if you start getting into it, collecting vintage ribbons is really, really fun. It's true. Old lace too. Oh my goodness. Lorianne Brown says she has lace that's over 500 years old. You can buy really beautiful vintage, just scraps of lace too. And again, you can, I bought a whole box of vintage ribbons from somebody on eBay for $5. It was like the most excited I've ever been. And it came in this huge plastic box, and it was just more ribbon than I'll ever use. So have fun with that. Look on eBay. You'll be amazed what you can find when people are clearing out their collections sometimes, right? Oh yeah. So any kind of, yeah, Denise Campbell and I are talking about building our own crafting rooms. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen for me anyway, but if you build yours, I will come and raid your crafting, raid your crafting room. Yeah, we're going to activate it together when we're done today. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and save your ribbons. When people give you a gift for the holidays, like, I don't know about you, but I don't throw away ribbon. You know, I'm that person after Christmas or Hanukkah where I'm going around the room, gathering up everybody's ribbon and like saving it. Vintage buttons are fun. Sometimes I also collect old vintage silk flowers, like millinery supplies, hat making supplies. That's another rabbit hole you can go down. Search millinery supplies on eBay and Etsy. Oh my God. So anyway, you can get old hat pins from like the 30s and 40s with rhinestones on them and all kinds of crazy stuff. So anyway, I'm just getting you started today, and then where you're going to take this will be just up to you and your creativity, which I think is so cool. So I'm watching the feed. If you have any questions, please post them. I'm so happy to answer your questions. And there are no dumb questions in my world. So anything that's on your mind, I'm here for it. Totally happy to guide you and support you. And hopefully you're enjoying people's comments too, because they have so many interesting perspectives too that they share. So we've anointed our ribbons and we have chosen our branch. This is another one just to show you. If you ever wonder why we sell little mini generators at Sage Goddess, if you ever wonder why, they are perfect for wands. These little, like, we had these little rose quartz mini generators for a while. We don't have them anymore. But anyway, I saved 2 of them, and this is a branch from one of our hikes. So little mini generators are the best because they're so flat, they're easy to glue on, right? So that's another thing to consider collecting too. So here's what we're gonna do. Are you ready? On the event page for today, for this class, when we're done, I would like for you to post your wand, and I'm gonna choose winners. I'm gonna choose 2 or 3 winners. I don't know how many. I might choose 5. And I'm going to send you prizes. I'm going to send you, I know it sounds crazy, I'm going to go through my crafting drawer. And I'm going to choose ribbons and cabochons and little generators and little rhinestones and little silk flowers. And the winners are going to get a little wand, a little homemade wand crafting kit from me. So I'm going to give you until Sunday. Today's Thursday. I'm going to give you till Sunday to post your pictures. And then I'm going to go through all the pictures. I'm going to choose some winners, 3, 4, 5 people. And I'm going to send you the most fun little stash out of my collection as a gift to say thank you and to tell you how much I appreciate your creativity. And I've got crazy stuff. So I'm going to send you a fun little gift bag of all the goodies. So that's an inspiration for you to get crafting today. And like I said, I'm going to give away this wand too that I made. So there's lots of prizes after today. Isn't this fun? Oh yeah, you have till midnight on Sunday. And then on Monday, I will announce the winners. You know me, I'll probably end up giving away like 10 of them. But I'm going to send you a little Ziploc bag full of ribbons and rhinestones and goodies and all kinds of things from my drawer. Well, if you want to send me a gift, I'm always happy to receive gifts too. And you know, some of my most treasured things, like I'm telling you, this branch was a gift from one of my clients. So, you know, every time you send me something, I sure do use it, and I just appreciate it so much. So thank you for also thinking of me. That is the sweetest. I hit that kind of hard and I knocked my little rose quartz off of there, so let me glue that back on real quick. That does happen sometimes, but the good news is anything, if your wand ever breaks, it's super easy to fix it. You just get your glue gun out and you re-glue it on. Et voila, it's fixed. That's the best part of this craft, is if something falls off, you just put it back on. So, the Sage Goddess address is 21010 South Figueroa Street, Carson, California, 90745. And Team SG will post that too. And you are just the sweetest. And I really appreciate it. You don't need to send me anything, but if you do, just know I get so excited like a little kid. Really? Oh my God. Life and Lily says you've been working on a hand-drawn gift for me. You know, one of my most favorite things, and it's here in my crystal room, is a picture that a customer drew for me. It's half of my face and half of a lion. And I framed it. I found the most beautiful gold frame, and it sits here in my crystal room. So you guys are so sweet. So Team SG will remind you where to post the pictures of your wands. Again, you have until Sunday at midnight, and then I'm gonna choose winners and send you little bags of goodies. I have so many things to choose from. I will have so much fun putting together little gift packages for you. And if I choose one of your young ones who wins, like say you've got your 10-year-old or your 15-year-old with you, just make sure it's okay with you that I send a gift to them. So if you're posting as a parent and your child wins, I want to make sure it's okay for me to send a gift package to your young one. Won't that be fun? Talk about magic mail, right? I like vintage rhinestones. There's a lady I have a couple of favorite shops on Etsy. Would you like me to post the links on the event page to my favorite Etsy shops for these things? There's just a couple of shops I really do love, and I don't get anything for it. It's not like I'm not an affiliate for them or anything. In fact, they'll probably be really surprised if you shop with them. But I have a favorite rhinestone shop. I have a favorite embellishment shop. I have a favorite millinery shop. I have a favorite doodad shop for like all kinds of miscellaneous ribbons and stuff. So I will put my favorite links up. And then if you have a favorite Etsy shop for ribbons and things, or a favorite eBay shop that you shop with, please also post your links on the event page. I will do that. So that way you can support them. They're going to be surprised because I'm not going to tell them that I'm telling you about them, but this is what I shop for late at night. This is my vice, or all these little fun, crafty things. I lose my mind. Okay, woo! You ready? So the first thing and the most important thing always with crafting, when it's sacred like this, is we have to come up with an intention. You want my clothing links too? I'll post those too. So we have to come up with an intention. And an intention, think of an intention like a wish, okay? Intention's a big word, right? It's a fancy word, but all it means is a wish. It's a focus. And every time you make a wand, there should be a focus. That wand over there was my I want to go home wand, right? I want to move back home. And this wand that I'm giving away today, my intention was balance for whoever wins this one. And what you do with these wands, by the way, is you set them on a table, right? You've seen mine. So the idea is you set it on a table, and then the long pieces of ribbon hang down. So it looks almost like an art piece. That's what you're supposed to do, is set them like that. So this one is for balance. My wand for today, my intention is transformation. So that's my theme for the wand that I'm making. Transformation and balance too, because I'm using different stones for different chakras. So I would like for you to think about, what is your focus today, or your wish, or your intention for this wand? When you look at it, how do you want to feel? When you work with it, what do you want it to bring to you? When you, you know, what kind of energy are you going to send with it? How are you going to work with it, right? So balance is always great. It can be love. Love's a great intention for a wand. Remember that wands, so good to see you guys. Hi, Cecilia. Remember that wands allow you to send and receive energy. Okay, so here's what I want to teach you before we start crafting. This is the last thing I want to show you. If your wand has 2 points on it, that's called a double terminated wand. If it only had 1 point on it, that's called single terminated. Okay? A double terminated wand sends and receives energy. I can send you love and you can send me love easily through this wand. A single terminated wand can only be used in one direction. I can send or I can receive. Okay? Sometimes it's a little bit stronger when it's single terminated, because if it's sending and receiving, the energy never quite gets strong, right? It's just moving through, moving through, moving through. Does that make sense? When it's single terminated, the energy kind of gets stored and it's a little bit stronger. So when you send, it's stronger. When you receive, it's stronger, but you can't do both at the same time. Single terminated wands you can use to open a circle, close a circle, activate a grid. Same with double term. The only difference is, if you want to be able to send and receive at the same time, you need terminations on both sides of a quartz-based mineral. That's the one rule that is important for all of this, right? Yeah, and you can totally use, you can't use broken pieces for the points, but you can use broken pieces for the top, or cabochons, flat-edged pieces, little bits and bobs, right? That's okay for the top. But for your terminations, they should not be broken. It's very important that those points are pointy. Can you work spells with them? Well, I don't do spell work because witchcraft is not my thing. That's why I work with intention. So, but intentions are pretty much the same as spells. It's just from a different tradition, right? So an intention basically is a spell. It's what do you want to create, and what kind of vibration or frequency do you want this wand to hold? And when you send and receive with it, what are you sending and receiving, right? So it's pretty much the same thing, just a different word for it. You can use Merkabas as a point for sure. Jill Cobb, like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, you can use crystal points like in gridding too. And they can be natural points or they can be polished points. Yeah, totally. These are great questions. You can also use a sphere on one end. So let's say you had a big branch. So this is a single terminated wand, right, in quartz. So you can see over here, it has a sphere and then it has a single termination. So this is a single terminated wand. I can send to you or I can receive from you, but I can't do both at once. I don't have a double term wand here to show you, but if this was double terminated, it would have points on both sides, right? A little flame would be great. I actually love that, Carolyn. Yeah, so Team SG, will you post the event page one more time? Because people are asking where to post pictures of their finished wands, and that way you guys will know where to post. And again, I'm going to choose winners on Monday, so you have till midnight on Sunday. Monday morning, I'm going to go through and have so much fun looking at your wands, and then Monday, I'm going to gather up all kinds of goodies and mail them off to you. Yeah. Okay, are you ready? So, and that's why I was talking to you earlier about sources for gathering supplies. So I will post some links to my favorite shops when we're done this evening. And then you guys are also welcome to post links to your favorite shops too. If you have a shop for supplies that you really like, that would be a great place to put them. Okay, so let's get started. So one of the things, once you have your wand and you have your terminations, right? So and I did that in advance because that's when I use my hot glue, like I showed you. And again, if you have little flyaways, just pull them off if it bothers you. It doesn't really bother me, so, but if it bothers you, you can just kind of pick those off and peel those off. And like I said, you can paint your glue with eyeshadow from your makeup drawer or mica powder if you don't have eyeshadow. And that's a perfect way to decorate and color the glue once you're done. Okay, now you want to lay out your stones in the order that you'd like to place them. I realize my phone ringer is on. Let me shut that off. Okay, so let me show you the stones that I have from the kits that I sent out to you. So I'm going to be working with red jasper today, which is a stone of strength and grounding. Really good for your root chakra. Red jasper is good if you have fear, you know, or anxiety. It really helps you to feel stable and supported and loved. It's a good one. Then I have a sunstone. So if you got the chakra kit, you got all of these. This is sunstone. Just sacral chakra leadership, passion, courage, creativity. So that one's going on there. Got a really nice Congo citrine. This is for wealth, prosperity, abundance, right? So that's a fun one too. And then chrysoprase, really nice heart healer, physical heart healer, emotional heart healer. If you have sadness, sorrow, you've been hurt, that's a good one. I think the third eye kit came with a piece of aquamarine, so I've got that sitting here too. Emotional healing, cleansing, purification, water energy with aquamarine. There's a sodalite. I've got both the kits here, so I'm just going through everything that we sent you. If you got both kits, you've got all of this. If you got the chakra kit or the third eye kit. Sodalite releases fear. This is blue calcite. This is a stone of harmony. Peace too. Then, let's see, kyanite, so good for balance, physical balance as well as emotional balance. Moldavite would be great. Yeah, moldavite would be great. Sugilite, one of the best healing stones on the planet. Really good for healing, especially autoimmune issues, which is my big struggle. If you got the third eye kit, we sent you the cutest little piece of tanzanite. Tanzanite is also for third eye visioning, intuition. Amethyst, peace, balance, detoxification. Isn't amethyst beautiful? We take it for granted because it's so common, but it's still one of my favorite crystals on the planet. Here's tiger's eye. I'm named after the goddess of wisdom from the Greek mythological tradition, and this is Athena's stone for wisdom. It's also a stone of justice and protection. This is hawk's eye, blue tiger's eye, priestess stone, spiritual leadership. Really pretty. And then I think that's everything. And then of course we sent you a quartz point. I already attached mine to my wand. This was the one that came with my kit, so that's what's there. And then I put an apophyllite tip on here too, and a quartz sphere. So again, you guys have been collecting crystals for a long time. You've got some cool stuff, so. And then randomly, this little ruby sphere jumped out of my tray literally today when I was putting this stuff together. I'm like, well, this didn't come with a kit, but it's going for the ride. So those are the ones that I'm working with. So, and whatever you have is perfect, right? There's no right or wrong. You can't make a mistake here. This is fun and this is play. And I promise you, the more you enjoy the process, the more beautiful your wand will be. If you're all stressed out about it and you're trying to Martha Stewart this and make it perfect and you're all nervous about it, you're not going to enjoy it as much. You can't screw it up. My favorite thing that ever happened, I gave Zoe access to my stone drawer, my stick drawer, and my glue sticks and my glue gun, and left her alone. And when I came back half an hour later, I should have brought it up to show you. I'll post a picture of it. She had made the most beautiful wand I've ever seen, still to this day. And it took her like 15 minutes. And I just set everything out and walked away. And she didn't overthink it, you know? She was just like, oh, that's just what my soul wanted to create. I was like, look how cool that is, right? So anyway, just enjoy the process. So let's focus on our intention, right? What is your intention? Mine is transformation and balance. So every time I use this wand, my intention is that it will connect me with energies of change and transformation, grace and ease. I love how the music changed like right as I started this part of our work together. Balance and harmony, you know, and flow. It'll remind me to go with the flow. Yeah. So what is your intention? And just take a second to breathe into that. Okay. And I'm just going to set mine down one more time to make sure I know where it will naturally lay, because I want to lay my crystals in the right places. So if you're going in chakra order, which I am, you want to think about the chakra order and spacing your crystals accordingly. If you have little places like this, this is a fun place to inset your stones, right? So one of the things you can do, if you got the intuition kit, we gave you a little bag of clear chipstones. We have chipstones at Sage Goddess too. So one of the things you can do, and I'm going to show you this right now, is you can take your glue gun and you see what I'm doing here? I'm just going to fill that little space there with glue. It's so hard when you're between glue sticks. So I just filled up that little hole there, and then take your chipstones and pop them in there like little eggs in a nest, and just push them in with your fingers. Isn't that cool? So there's another one of these little hidden interesting pockets on the other side. So I'm going to do the same thing there. And if you ever have like a stone that breaks and it's fragile, or you can take a selenite wand and you can grind it down in your mortar and pestle and make selenite powder. You can take lepidolite and grind it down and make lepidolite powder. And there you go. It's like a little nest. Isn't that kind of fun? So just being creative, you know, if you have little holes and little places in your wand that are calling out for a little creativity, you can pop the little, yeah, and you can make little wishes with that. I like to use my breath. You'll see me do that a lot when I'm crafting, because your breath is your life force. So when you make wishes, you you can use that to seal the energy too, especially if you're making this for someone. Can I just tell you something? This is the most amazing gift you'll ever give anybody. They will treasure it for the rest of their lives, and it won't cost you very much, right? It costs you a glue stick and some eyeshadow and a couple of crystals and some ribbons. So all told, this wand is probably going to cost me, you know, I don't know, $30 maybe to make. You know, how much would you spend on a, I mean, but it costs your time, right? But it's priceless. It's irreplaceable. So think about this for a birthday gift, or someone's graduating, right? What an incredible graduation gift. A new home. Somebody's moving into a new home. You could give them a home blessing wand. Somebody's, you know, not feeling well. You could make them a healing wand, right? I love it. And flowers. So you can also take rose petals and crush them and pour the glue and sprinkle the rose petals in, right? And use dried flowers all the way along. So you don't even have to use crystals. So that's something to think about too, just to inspire your creativity. All right, so I'm gonna start up here, and I'm constantly sitting it down again, just so I make sure I'm putting my crystals in the right place. So I'm gonna start up here, and I'm feeling like I wanna place my, I'm gonna go in reverse order. So I'm gonna start with my amethyst up here. Wasn't that fun? It's totally unique, and they'll never, they will always think of you. Every time they use their wand, they'll think of you and your generosity and your creativity. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue down. And again, don't worry if it overflows a little bit. But remember, when you're working with hot glue, you gotta be quick about it because it sets really fast, okay? So there's my amethyst. I'm very happy with the placement of that. And be mindful while you're doing it. So now this wand has energies of peace and balance, right? And detoxification. And now down here, I'm gonna go third eye and place my sodalite. That feels really good right there. Doesn't that look good? And remember, you're leaving space for ribbons, right? We're gonna tie our ribbons on. So that's why we're leaving space between our stones. If you don't wanna do ribbons, that's okay, but that's the kind of wand that I do. So I like to leave plenty of space, especially since this is a longer one, so I don't have to try and push them all together. I can really let this wand breathe and have enough room. So now I'm going to go throat chakra here. Actually, I'm going to put my kyanite down. So this one's going to have two. Do I have enough room? No, I'm going to put my blue calcite there. Definitely want some peace and harmony vibrations. That one belongs right there. And then next up, I'm feeling like I want to do my chrysoprase for a little heart healing. I definitely have some heart healing to do. 2021 was not an easy, or 2020 was not an easy year around these parts. So keep setting it down just to make sure. And do you see where we are right now? So we have crown chakra for connection to spirit and, you know, connection to your faith. We have third eye with sodalite, so that's going to activate your intuition. We have blue calcite for your throat chakra for harmony. I've got chrysoprase here for the heart chakra. And then next up, and it's perfect spacing because I've got a little knot right there that I'm working around. And then over here, I'm going to place my citrine. That feels good. And then just sitting it down. Yep, it's looking real good. I'll show you in a second how it looks laying down. And then I'm going to go a little bit further down and put my Sunstone for leadership and sacral chakra, creativity, right? Yeah, you can use anything you want. And you know, you probably have some crystals that really mean something to you, and what better way to work with them rather than putting them in a drawer or, you know, wherever they are right now. If you put them on your wand, you're always gonna have their energy with you, which I think is really beautiful. Yep, this is the red jasper coming up next here. Next up, it's red jasper, everybody. For some grounding. That feels really good. And then you just gotta look and see, does anything else want to be on this wand? I've got this little notch up here and I feel like my sudolite wants to go up there. I'll show you. It's like this little, see that little space right there where I did my glue? There's like a little indentation at the top. So I'm going to put my sudolite right there because it's just so special. I don't want to not use it. And I'm using the stones that were in our kits that we offered, so it's kind of neat that you and I have the same tools. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that wants to... This little piece of tanzanite would actually fit really nicely right in that little indentation. Or look over here. See this little guy right there? I think I'm gonna, ooh, look. My tanzanite fits right there. Are you having fun? I hope you're having fun. And again, play. You cannot make a mistake. You don't like it, take the glue off, replace it, right? So knowing that you can't screw this up, just play and have fun. Not neat? That just fit right in there. That makes me really happy. And then let's see if there's anything else. This feels really good to me for right now. How do you feel about where you are? And again, if there's glue, little funkers coming off, you just pull them off. That's why glue guns are so nice. They're so easy. So once you have your stones on, what would you want on a home blessing wand? You'd want to ask yourself what energies you want to bring into your home. Peace, laughter, right? For peace, I would do angel light. I would do selenite. For laughter, I would do crazy lace agate, ocean jasper. For love, I would use rhodochrosite, rose quartz. For prosperity in your home, citrine, yellow apatite's nice, yellow fluorite in those kind of families, yeah. Yeah, they're little glue cobwebs, which is okay. It's okay. Okay, now that we have our stones glued on, and you can do this till, you know, you can keep going and going and going and going. We could stay here all night, so, and because I know you can't stay here all night, I'm gonna move on to the ribbon phase, but you can keep going and going and going and adding and adding and adding stones to your heart's content. Now we start with my ribbons. Now here's the prayer part. When I tie my ribbon on, I tie it over the top like this, see? And I leave one end short and the other end long. And I tie it twice. And I say my intention. So with this ribbon, I infuse energies of strength. Because red is the color of strength and success too. And we will trim off the little excess pieces at the end, but that's what that looks like. And then again, when you sit this down, the ribbons will hang over the side like that. So that's what that looks like with my red ribbon. And with my orange ribbon, and it, you know, your kit came with 1 or 2 pieces of ribbon, so I'm kind of riffing with other ribbons from my collection. So if you only have 1 or 2 pieces of ribbon, you want to infuse all your intentions into that one piece, right? So with this ribbon, I infuse energies of creativity and passion into my wand. So again, it's flat on where the stone is. Do you see how it's flat there? And then it hangs down. And you can trim these up later and make them even. I don't leave mine very even. If you notice, on my wands, they're all a little bit different. Because I don't like things to be perfect. But if you're super perfect person, you could bring them all together and trim them in the same place, and then yours would look nicer than that. I don't like that. Oh yeah, this video will be up forever on our YouTube channel, so you can always come back to it later. And I want to thank you again for joining me today. I hope that you're having fun. My intention was purely to come on and inspire you a little bit. You know, this year has been really kind of weird for everybody, and I think art is very healing. So thank you for coming and spending part of your day with me. I really appreciate it. Okay, so here is, this is kind of a, well, kind of like this one actually. It's yellow and purple, but I'm gonna go with it because I think it's really pretty. So, although I'm kind of feeling just to move on to this one. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna move on to this one and then do my darker green down there. So with this one, which is yellow and gold, with this ribbon, I'm calling in energies of prosperity and abundance. Yeah. And what's nice about it, remember, every intention that you set, it isn't just what you're calling in for yourself. Whenever you work with this wand with other people, you can send these energies to them, right? Maybe you're going to be working with someone who needs abundance and prosperity energies. So you want to have that energy available. So there's that one. And again, we'll trim it up at the end. Now, I have some really interesting green ribbons. Look at this one. This little one jumped out from my collection. It's shorter than the rest, but that's okay because sometimes I like a little bit of a shorter ribbon. So with this green ribbon, I'm setting an intention for growth. Growth is important, right? If you're just joining, we've covered a lot of ground. So what I would say is stay with us for till the end, and then go back and watch from the beginning tonight or tomorrow or whenever you have time, because I think you'll enjoy it. But see how that one with a little bit of pattern really kind of adds something unique. And then I have this, I thought this was really pretty. This was from when I was a room mom for the kids. When they were younger, I did a little crafting in one of their classes, and we used this kind of felted ribbon, and I kept a piece of it. So I'm actually going to do a double layer of green for growth, because that's one of my big focus areas for 2021 is my growth, my students' growth. I really feel like I'm a little bit of a alchemist of growth this year for myself and for other people. So I'm doing both of those there. And again, I like texture, so I just kind of like it when it's kind of boho fun. Yeah, so if you don't have a glue gun, the good news is you can get one on Amazon for just a couple of dollars. And if this starts to get kind of out of hand, by the way, like mine is, you can go in and start to trim up your ribbons. So I'm just gonna, I always deliberately trim them at different lengths, because I don't want it to be perfect. So you can trim it now or you can trim it later, whatever works for you. And then at the throat chakra, ooh, look at this one. No, I think this one is good. Isn't it pretty? Oh, I'm so glad you guys are here. Yeah, so Julie, just, you know, you're not in a hurry. You can always get a glue gun, you know, whenever it suits you, and then you know, do it afterward. Or if you don't want to use a glue gun, you can use E6000 or Gorilla Glue. The only benefit of using a glue gun is that it dries really instantly, right? So my intention with this ribbon is communication. Clear, open, authentic communication, speaking from my soul. And then we need and I'm going to trim this one up. And I'm going to leave this one a little bit long, I think. And then for my third eye, I think I'm going to go in with this one. I love this ribbon so much. I know it's not technically third eye, but it's such a fun mix of colors. I think I'm going to do 2 ribbons here. Yeah, I like this one for third eye. So here my intention is vision, channeling my intuition, knowing how to use my intuition wisely, trusting my intuition, trusting my vision, being willing to follow my intuition too. And then, yeah, I like that there. And then I think too, I've got this, would that look good there too? Maybe too much of that kind of glittery looking ribbon there. Okay, and then next, oh, I've got some really fun ones in different shades of purple here. So now, as we start to get to the crown, my intuition here is to really deepen my faith this year. I lost a little bit of faith last year, not too much, but when you see so much hurt in the world, it's easy to lose your faith. And I've been on this real kick lately to talk more to my guides and to trust the process. And so that ribbon is all about that part of my journey too. It's coming together, isn't it? And by the way, if you made a big one like this, you could actually use this as a curtain rod. Can you imagine? Like can you imagine a big one of this over a window? You could hang this on the wall. If you have a big, beautiful wall or like over a window, you could put 2 nails, right? Like here and here, and hang this on the wall. Wouldn't that be beautiful as art? So just, you know, you're only limited in this life by your imagination. Truly. And then up here, I'm going to do, this is kind of a pinky purple ribbon. I've got 2 up here I want to use. So this feels like Soul Star to me. This feels like angelic presence calling on my angels and my spirit guides for voices of wisdom, making space for my spirit allies to speak. Coming together. Look at that. Look what we're doing. Super fun, right? And again, I just deliberately don't do them straight because I think it's fun to have them a little bit mismatched. Yeah, and these little things that hang down, I think that's pretty too. You know, they're like little hairs, so you don't have to trim all those off if you don't want to. And then, isn't that fun? And then the last step is, if you want to, and I do this because I just like it to look clean, make sure all your knots are tied and tight the way you want them. And then the small pieces, the small ends, the short ends, I cut those off. So that's why you want to make sure your knots are tight so that your ribbons don't come off. So just trimming those up. If you need to, you may have done it better than I did, and so you may not have that much to trim. But I have quite a bit to trim because I wasn't as careful. So we're just trimming up the little short ends here. It's like cutting hair. Now, you can go in, I still have a couple of other things I'm gonna add, like this one, because I think these are pretty. So like I have this little, this is from one of my favorite little Etsy shops. It just looks like, I don't know, a weird animal, but I like it. So then I'm gonna go in and add that. So in some places I do 2 pieces of ribbon or embellishment if I have something kind of cool like this, because I think it adds, it's fun, it's pretty soft. It adds a little bit of a feminine touch too. See that? It makes such a big difference. So, you know, collecting these little pieces of ribbon in these different textures is just so fun. And then I had another one like that in the kind of pink tones, pink and blue. So I think I'm going to add that one right there. Isn't that fun? Yeah. And just keep saying prayers and intentions, how you want to feel when you work with this wand, what you want it to remind you of. See how the little furry pieces just add some dimension and some color and some texture to it? Now, the last step. So now I can easily send you energy and receive energy. And I liked that it's 3-pronged. It's going to gather energy here and also send it through those terminations. So I can activate grids with this. I can send and receive energy with this. This can be used as a talking piece. I can hang it on the wall as art. There's 1,000 different, you know, ways and purposes for a tool like this. And so the last step is, and feathers would be super beautiful. Can you imagine a peacock feather on this or something like that? I mean, that's why I'm saying you guys will take this to a whole nother level, I'm sure. And if you came in a little bit late, not to worry. In my classes, you can't really be late. But if you came in after we started, you have until Sunday at midnight to post pictures of yours if you make one. And then I'm going to choose 3 or 6 of my favorites. And I'm going to send you a gift bag of crystals and ribbons and rhinestones and doodads from my little crafting drawers to say thank you for joining us and to celebrate your creation. So make sure you enter. All you have to do is put a picture of your wand. You can put a couple pictures if you want on the event page before midnight on Sunday, and then Monday I'm going to go through all the pictures, and then I'm going to custom make you a little based on what your wand looks like, or if you have a preference, like if you want prosperity bag or if you want a health bag or whatever, and I'll put some ribbons and goodies together for you. And plants. So I actually think I might go back in and add some dried roses to this, maybe a couple sprigs of lavender to this. You could, instead of filling these little pockets with stones, you could fill them with lavender buds, right? That's beautiful. Isn't that fun? I'm so happy. Hey, those of you who are maybe with your parents or your godparents or aunts and uncles tonight, the little ones, are you guys having fun? I hope so. I specifically wanted you guys to join because you guys know I have kids, and I've really seen Zoe become such a gifted wand maker over the last couple of years. And so I hope that it wasn't just the adults who had fun today. I hope that those of you who are our younger friends, I hope you guys have had a lot of fun too being with us today. We're so thankful for you too. You guys are the next generation, and I get so inspired to see what you create. Oh, of course, Gina said, can you imagine a dream catcher added? I cannot wait to see what you guys make, because what happens every time I do a class like this, you take my ideas to the whole next level and I get inspired. You could add charms to this. You could add dried flowers, feathers, a dream catcher. Can you imagine? Like the sky is the limit. So yeah, Tara, your daughter should absolutely do this. I'm so glad Brielle's having fun. Hi, Brielle. I'm so happy that you guys are here. Oh, yeah. So thank you for being there. Kenzie, hi, Kenzie. Did you have fun? I'm so glad you were there. Thank you for being there, Kenzie. And Randy says, I'm loving mine. It's not done yet. And you can keep adding to this. Truly, even over the years, you might end up adding to it. So leave space for that too. You might end up painting it, right? So I'm so glad you're 11. Thank you for being here. And Mia is with Yvette. She's having fun. You can find peacock feathers online. Try to find naturally shed. I'm really lucky where we live. The peacocks run wild here and they shed their feathers all over the place, so we have a lot of them, but always make sure you purchase naturally shed feathers. That's very important. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you're so welcome. Okay, the last step before I let you guys go. That's the best compliment ever. Meilani said, I'm a magical Bob Ross. Those are big shoes to fill, but thank you for that. But I'm with Bob. I think there's no mistakes, just happy accidents, right? You're very welcome. How fun this was. And I love that some of you brought the littles. They're the next generation, you guys, and I love seeing their creativity just blossom. I really do. And Lily joined Melissa. Hi, Lily. Aw. Oh, I love that, Amanda. We'll tell your niece I said hello. Yep. Okay. Last step is we're going to dedicate this wand. So you can say it with me if you've made your wand, or you can wait and say this later. I dedicate this wand to healing, transformation, and balance. And you can say whatever it is that you're dedicating your wand to. And then you just say, Amen, Aho, and so it is. Amen, Aho, and so it is. And that's all there is to it. You have now made, or will make, a tool that I hope you love for a long time, that it inspires you and blesses you. Now, the last thing for tonight, I'm truly grateful you guys were here. I was so looking forward to today. I knew it was going to be fun. Like I said, I will put all my favorite Etsy links and eBay links on the event page, so that if you want to gather up some supplies, you know my favorite places to go, with some pretty cool people too. Oh, I love it. Lisa's at work, but she's watching. Did you enjoy it? I hope you had fun. I really, really hope that you did. Okay, Riley's with Jennifer. Hi, Riley. Your birthday's on Saturday, Riley. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Riley. Mwah. Okay. This wand I made with so much love. It is Purple Aura, my favorite color. And then I painted the glue with purple mica, purple eyeshadow. Remember, if you use a glue gun, just use a dry brush in your eyeshadow and it will paint the glue whatever color your eyeshadow is. And then I went along each of the stones and I used red eyeshadow, orange eyeshadow, gold eyeshadow. So this one has, from my collection, Jacinto de Compostela quartz from Spain, which is for grounding, a ruby for passion. It's got an amethyst up here. Then it has an orange garnet for creativity. It's got yellow apatite for manifestation, green fluorite for healing. It has a sapphire for wisdom. So I would like to give this away right now before we go. So if you feel drawn to this wand, I made it with love, and I would like to gift it to one of you. And then I'm going to mail it to you tomorrow. And I hope that you really enjoy working with it. I hope you can feel all the love that went into it, because it's a lot. So if you'd like to enter to win right now, just say yes or please or oh my goodness or I want it, give it to me. And I'm going to give you a few minutes to comment, and then I'll choose the winner. And that'll be our time for today. Have fun. Wasn't that cool? This ribbon in particular is a favorite of mine. It's like a yarn. It's not even really a ribbon, it's a yarn. But I love how it's all the different colors of green. Isn't that pretty? So then when you set this on your table, like I said, you should set it like that and then let the ribbons hang down over the sides of your table. And that's how it really becomes sort of an art piece for you. Isn't that cool? Before COVID, I was teaching kids at my daughter's school. I was teaching them how to drum, and I was teaching them some crafting, and I was teaching them all these things, and then COVID hit and weren't able to do that anymore. But it's such a passion of mine to teach the next generation, because if we teach them how to craft and be mindful and work with crystals and discover their healing gifts now, how much will that help them as adults? They'll have a whole set of coping mechanisms, right? So share your gifts with the littles in your life. It will help them so much as they get older. I believe it will anyway. Okay, let me see where this is going. Isn't that fun? I'm glad you guys are excited about it. Okay, let's see. I'm so glad. Thank you, Tina Cernak, for being here. It was a pleasure to have you here. Truly, all of you. It was such a joy to have you with me this afternoon. Best part of my week, other than class last night with my students, which was pretty amazing too. Okay. So the winner of this wand, there's so many of you. Okay. Okay. I feel like I know exactly where it's supposed to go. Stephanie Landry. Stephanie Landry, I feel like I probably made this wand just for you. As soon as I saw your comment, I got that little up my spine that I feel. So Stephanie Landry, may this wand bring you, because as I was making it, I was thinking about alignment. Being in alignment with gifts and talents and desires and wishes and energies. And so my prayer for you is that in 2021, that you work with this wand and that it brings you perfect alignment. And so much love, Stephanie Landry. So congratulations, darling. I'm going to mail this off to you tomorrow. So please make sure that we have your correct mailing address. And like I said, I will have them ship it right away tomorrow. And it's coming with a big hug. And cheers and congratulations. Yeah, so Team SG is requesting, Stephanie, please write into support.sagegoddess.com and make sure that we have your best mailing address, and this will come right to you in the mail this week. And congratulations. Thanks for being there, you guys. And thank you for bringing your gifts to the world too. It requires all of us right now to bring healing to this very broken world at the moment. But I'm an optimist, and I still and always believe the very best days are ahead of us, not behind us. And I'm truly grateful for those of you who also brought the young ones tonight, because they have so much beauty to offer us, endless sources of inspiration. And they remind us to play and not take it all so seriously, which I think is beautiful too. So, cheers, enjoy, have a beautiful rest of your evening. And I will look forward to seeing you next week. We have so much more all the time happening at Sage Goddess. So stay tuned. Soul Shift, I'm going to be recording your meditation that I promised you yesterday. I do want to ask, because I always have to, make sure you've liked this channel and subscribed to it, because we're going to be doing more classes like this, and that way you'll get notifications. And if you love crafting, I teach crafting every month in Soul Shift, which is my online class in spiritual transformation, and you're always welcome to join us there too. We just started, and in fact, our first session of Crystal Masters is next week, so for the entire year. So you're not late. If you ever want to take classes with me, the website is sagegoddess.com/classes. Would love to have you. And in the meantime, have a beautiful rest of your Thursday. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you soon.